Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. This video has been long requested, and so here I am finally fulfilling it for you guys. This is a very serious video. I just want you guys to know that I will try and keep the best upbeat energy for it while I'm talking to you guys about it. Hey guys, what's up? Just wanted to pop in. This is future me editing this video. I'm super sorry that I'm out of focus a little bit throughout the entire video. I recorded this video more than once and it did this literally every single time. So I'm just sharing this with you guys and I super apologize for that. I don't want you to take anything for granted that I say just because this is YouTube, and I don't want everything to be thought of as like it's all happy and positive, because there is a lot of stuff that I experienced that I wasn't this positive and happy about during that time. So we'll go ahead and just jump on into the video. I do have a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to talk to you about what happened. This video is about my breast augmentation experience. If you guys didn't see that in the thumbnail, which you probably did, but yeah, so I'll be talking about my breast augmentation experience. I ended up having 2 surgeries within 1 year, actually within less than a year of each other, and it was a very intense experience for me, for everything that I went through. I'm going to basically go through the journey and tell you guys about what I experienced and what happened and like why I had a second surgery, just like what it was like, what I went through, all that stuff. We'll go ahead and just jump on into the video. So about a year and a half ago, I decided to get my breast augmentation, and I totally own up to that. I think it's very important that you speak your truth if you did alter your body with surgery or anything like that. I think it's very important to be honest about it and talk to the world about it. Like, I just don't think you should lie about it. If someone says, like, did you get a boob job? Just say, yes, you got a boob job. Because I think it's very unrealistic for people to not tell people about the surgeries that they've had, especially if people are curious, just because you're creating an altered reality where people think that they need to be as perfect as that to be good enough or whatever. And that's technically body shaming. Like, that's not cool. You should be 100% honest, which is why I am 100% honest with you guys when it comes to this type of stuff. Going further, I just think that's a very important thing for everybody to know. Okay, so about a year and a half ago, I got my first surgery, my breast augmentation. I spoke with my doctor. I had a lot of information that came across, and like, we went through the entire process, of course. I do have another video about this, but the thing about that video is that I only talked to you guys until about 2.5-ish months, and by that time I was actually still doing very good. My first surgery was fucking hard. I want you guys to know that. I had a very difficult time. My mom had to literally sit me up, which was a very difficult thing. Like, I couldn't breathe. Everything was so tight. And she literally would like pick me up like from my back and like all the way up so that I could sit up, because I just had absolutely no strength. I was puking the whole time. Like, I think I talked about that in my first video. Like, it was definitely way harder than everyone made it out to be. But I do also realize that, like, I'd never had a surgery before. I do have a high pain tolerance, so I expected it to be a little bit less, but it obviously wasn't. I had no idea what it was like to go through surgery, and like, obviously I didn't realize like the medications that I was on, and like I'd never done that before. I'd never been on that high of medications. I cannot talk. Okay, anyways, yeah, my first surgery was very difficult. I had a very hard time for the first week, and it was just like, I don't regret it at all, but it was just much, much harder than everyone makes it out to be. So I want you to be aware of that. It could be super, super easy for you, but for me it was not. And so this is just my personal experience. So within my first video, I was talking about the first 2.5-ish months. I was still totally fine by the 2.5-ish months. I was like, these look dope, like, I'm excited, blah, blah, blah. I did not make a second video after, like, I never made like a 6-month update or anything like that, because by the time that I was at 6 months, I was already contemplating my second surgery, which is why I never made this video. At about 3-ish months, something started to occur, and it's called bottoming out. I never spoke about this. There is a video that I like briefly mentioned it, what was happening, but it was like a life update, so I didn't like make a full video for the augmentation and what was happening. So basically something happened that is called bottoming out. That is where one boob falls out of its socket a little bit and the other one does not. So basically it looked like this, and it was like, because this one had fallen down, it just like looked lopsided, and then this nipple was pointing up and this one was pointing forward. And I was very uncomfortable with that. Every time I looked in the mirror, I thought it looked bad, and I was just like, what's wrong? Like, this scar was literally like up here, but the boob was down here, and this scar was underneath. So it just like looked wrong in my opinion, and I was like, this isn't cool. Like, I had a surgery, I paid X amount of money for this. Like, I don't want this. This isn't what I paid for. So at about 3 months, I went back to my doctor and I was like, hey, this bothers me. I think this is wrong. I don't know what to do about it. And he basically told me that it's decently common. It usually only happens in older patients that already have like stretched out just like skin and like muscles and stuff up here, because it's more likely for it to fall, and it's not, he didn't say this, but he definitely made it seem like it's not that common in younger people. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do, because like I don't like it. And he was like, it's really not that big of a deal, like, and I got my mom's opinion and a bunch of other opinions as well, and they were all just like, it's not that bad, you know, like it's okay, it's not that noticeable, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Every time I look in the mirror, it's bothering me. And so I went a few more months on by this, and by the time I was at 6 months, I was like, this bothers me. Like, I don't like this. I don't want this. And so I didn't make a 6-month video, because I was literally self-conscious about the fact that when I got naked, this is what I saw. And I was like, I don't like that. I'm not down. So probably about 7 or 8 months later, I was like, I can't handle this anymore. Like, it was affecting my self-esteem. Every time I was naked, every time I looked at myself in the mirror after the shower, I was like, this is what I paid for. And I was like, I'm not happy. And I was literally like getting depressed about it. So then I went back to my doctor and I was like, I can't handle this. Like, I can't do this. I want to fix it. Like, period. It's not an option anymore. Like, it's not okay. I want to fix it. And he was like, okay, like, I'll cover it. He's like, but I can't cover the surgical room and I can't cover the anesthesia. You'll still have to pay for those 2 things. And I'm like, cool, great. Sign me up. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to cry about looking at myself. And he was like, okay. So we went into the second surgery. I was terrified because my first surgery was really difficult. And so I was like, okay, is it going to be as painful? Like, what should I expect? And he's like, it's not going to be as painful. It's only 1 boob. He's like, we're not putting a new size in, so you're already stretched out to this size. He's like, I'm just going to tighten it. It actually wasn't. I was like, okay, cool. Like, it's fine. We'll get through it. It'll be okay. Got through it. The second surgery was half as bad. Not even half as bad. It was like way, way easier. Like, within the first day of the surgery, I was able to stand up and walk around, which totally the opposite of the first surgery. So the second one was much easier for me, and it was better. It was definitely very tight and kind of just like just on this side, because it was just this one that was adjusted. So like I'd sleep on this side when I was sleeping, or like I just had to do other things. Like I still had strength on this side, and so it was just so much easier for me the second time around. But I was very, very happy that I did it. My surgery ended up, the 2 of them together ended up costing what I was going to pay to go out of state to see a different surgeon. I don't know if this would have happened if I saw a different surgeon. Of course, I can't predict that alternate reality or whatever you would want to call it. I'm like choking on my words. Sorry. I'm talking really fast. I got my second surgery, and then I was finally happy. Like, my scars are kind of about similar, even though this one had 2 cuts into it, because he just went right back in the exact same place. My left boob is still very, very sore. It has a bit of a difficult time compared to this one, but obviously that's because this one's only like 5 months healed or whatever, or actually this one's probably like 6 or 8 months healed now by this point, and this one's like over a year, like 1.5 years. I'm choking. Sorry. For the next, like, the past, like, for the 6 months following the second surgery, I was wearing a bra every single day. Like, I had to support this one. I was literally terrified to do anything. Like, I was like, I can't get in the ocean. I can't go on a boat. I can't be in a Jeep. I can't get in a car. Like, I was like, I need to protect them. I'm so scared. And I literally was, because I was like, I don't want this to happen again. And so, like, I would hold them like this anytime a bump hit in the car, because I was, like, scared that it would jump up and down and rip the tear the lining. I was just, like, terrified out of my mind that it was going to happen again. And I still, to this point, like, I'm finally at a point that's a little bit better, but it's, like, 8 months later, like, or whatever. So it's definitely been just, like, a very long journey for me. So at this point, I finally have come to a place where I can go a few hours without wearing a bra, since I'm, like, obviously not wearing a bra right now, but this shirt is very tight and it does hold them very well. Technically, he doesn't recommend that I don't wear a bra. He wants me to wear them 24/7 if I can, but I don't really feel as confident when I'm wearing a bra all the time, so I have come to a place where I can, like, evenly distribute when I wear a bra and when I don't. And so right now I'm not wearing one, but I'm actually at a comfortable place. They both, like, are exactly how I want them now. I'm very, very happy with them. a year and a half later, I can say that. I don't regret my decision to get a breast augmentation, but I do think it's very important for you to be aware that this is possible. This and a few other things, hence why you need to talk to a surgeon. I strongly recommend talking to a surgeon that someone else recommends to you, or talking to a surgeon that a doctor or another person in the surgical field would recommend. That way you know that the doctor that you're going to is like recommended by someone who has experienced what they've done or seen what they have done before. Last things last that I want to talk about, the year and a half that I've gone through in the past while, before I got my surgery, I was extremely fit, probably the most fit I've ever been in my life. And I was very thin and eating super healthy. I didn't have extra fat on me. The surgeries really took me down a notch. I had a very hard time because I would go 2 or 3 months without working out because I couldn't work out. And it definitely changed. I was going through a healing process for sure, 100%. This healing process, I gained a bit of weight. I think that's very natural, and I think that you should know that if you're going to get a surgery, it's very likely for you to gain up to 10 pounds, if not more. At least 5. You're going to gain some weight because you're not going to be working out. You're going to be eating food because you still want to keep up your body, and it's just kind of difficult, and then you have to rebuild what you lost during that time that you were in recovery. So that's very normal. I was very depressed about that, but I was depressed about a lot. I went through a very hard time, I would say, within the months of when I was 3 months into my surgery, to my first surgery, and up until I got my second one. That was a very depressive period for me because I was just very, very confused and hurt and didn't like to look at myself. I was heavier than I was than I wanted to be. I couldn't really I wasn't super comfortable yet, and it was just a really hard time for me. Now, if you were to do this, there is no telling whether or not this would happen to you. This is a very small percent. I'm pretty sure my doctor said about 5% of all people experience what I experienced. And so that's a pretty low percent, but it does happen. I experienced it. And I'm still very grateful that I have gotten my breast augmentation. I am back to healthy again right now. I'm doing very, very good. I'm very, very happy and pleased with all of my results at this point in time. I don't have anything else to say, but if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and comment them down below. I'm so happy to answer all of them that you guys have. I'm sorry it took me so long to make this video. It's definitely been a whole entire process the past year and a half, and I didn't really want to make it until I was really feeling good about everything, but I know it's been constantly requested. So here it is for you guys, and I hope that this information was helpful. I know that a lot of people on YouTube that go through their breast augmentation experiences don't talk about the bad. It's a surgery. There's going to be bad. It's just if you had some kind of surgery on your foot, people are going to say, it was fucking painful, because it was. It's a part of that. You have to choose if you want to go through that, and it's totally your decision, and you're responsible for making that decision. I'm 100% responsible for making the decision that I made to get my surgery in a certain place and to try and get it a little bit cheaper because I didn't have millions of dollars, I don't have that kind of money to spend like Kylie Jenner does on her boobs. And so I made the decision to get a little bit of a cheaper experience, and that could have been what happened. I ended up spending as much money as I would have if I didn't do the cheap one. It is what it is. You need to own up to your decisions and what you chose to do. I made all those decisions, and now I have tits. So I'm happy with them at this point. Totally talk to a surgeon if you decide you want to do this. I don't have anything else to say. I love all of you guys, and I hope that this video was helpful or gave you some kind of information, or the information that you wanted about my experience that you've all been asking. Don't forget to give this video a big, huge thumbs up, and then hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.